There is no similarity between 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90-day season, 2-episode for Family Ties, and the sitcom starring Michael J. Fox. Not unless Meredith Baxter Birney ever broke down in tears at church or served snails to guests. TLC delivered as usual. It's always entertaining to witness the foreign love train wrecks as they make frantic efforts to find friendship and green cards. Before the 90 days, Angela Deem and Michael L. Sammy in Africa 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days opens with the always vivacious Angela Deem. Her earrings are so big that even circus monkeys could fit through them. She's prepared to meet the mother of Michael L. Sammy. His mother is a beautiful woman who simply requires a little assistance in politely receiving things. The lavender purse with a Bible verse on it is given to her by Angela. It appears to be from a hospital gift shop. Mama claims that she would want one that resembles Angela's enormous leopard sack. The mother made a delectable dish for the prospective husband to sample, as is customary on this show. Though it's difficult to top sheep's head and chicken feet, the attempt is admirable. When Michael's mother opens the lid, she finds what appears to be atrophied human ears, but is actually a snail. Our Angela bites into something. Like a ruminating goat nursing her young, she regurgitates into Michael's mouth with the same class as always. As if Angela jumping on him and pleading for forgiveness wasn't enough. Mom approves of Angela but hopes that she will be obedient to her son. The ashes of Angela is obedient to nothing but awful tank tops and nicotine, and I hate to break that to his mother. I wish you luck on it. She questions Michael's pals about the veracity of his claim that he won't be allowed to have your images on his phone because he might get arrested. They support him. Michael thinks it would be entertaining to visit the marketplace to purchase matchmaking attire. Angela isn't having any of it and is overjoyed to find cigarettes for sale on the street. Even if Michael disagrees, the good old girl continues to smoke a Marlboro Red, despite the fact that it's smudged. After smoking, Michael and Angela browse through outfits. Michael informs the saleswoman that Angela is overweight. She gives him 2 face masks before leaving to light another cigarette for comfort. Michael gestures for the camera to see how large her stomach is. Angela is receiving some reel from Michael, but she is unable to accept the truth, much like Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. Jess Meester and Darcy Silva on Narcissism in New York. Darcy Silva and Jesse Meester were the next couple under the 90-day Fiancé microscope Friday night. In Times Square, the Dutchman and his diva grab pizza. Wearing a fake Burberry pashmina that was purchased from a street vendor, Jesse still has wrinkles in the folds. It would be unwise for Darcy to stay in New York for an extended period of time. She may fly in the Macy's Thanksgiving parade with her ballooned lips. She asks Jesse about the photo with her daughters right away. This sets off an embarrassing video in which she refers to them as your stepkids, while his blatant animosity grows. By mentioning social media, Darcy more than Chardonnay or the possibility of being a fatter awakens Jesse's inner demons. It seems that Jesse forbids her from using social media because she believes she is incapable of self-control and needs to keep working on herself. Darcy slowly reverses the progress of the women's movement next, 90 Day Fiancé. We were treated to Jessie storming out before the 90 days. Before putting on her makeup and saying, "I beg you," Darcy tells the audience that she is a strong lady. The ice that is coursing through Jess's veins solidifies. After taking a shower to defrost, he resurfaces in a little robe and climbs into bed alongside Darcy, who is a steamy mess. They leave in the morning for Connecticut. Darcy is gushing about energy and beauty while acting like the ultimate Connecticut travel guide. As soon as he sees a stream while driving, Jesse is ecstatic at how Connecticut appears. questions Darcy about why she must yell and appears to be sporting one of Claire's headbands. She says she's doing everything in her power to win his approval, but then she tells us once more that she is a powerful woman. Between fits of passive-aggressive madness, Jesse wonders out loud whether he can get groceries on a bike. He reiterates that Darcy's drama has frustrated him. There are too many Darcys, 90-Day Fiancé horrible twins. We now have 2 Darcys, as if having one wasn't awful enough. Darcy and his twin Stacy are arguing like pros. Stacy finds joy in their arguments and is dubious about their relationship. Later, when Darcy tries to speak with the creators of 90-Day Fiancé, before the 90 days, Jesse orders him to shut up. He disappears once more, much to Darcy's dismay. When Jesse finally loses it, he's presumably wondering if the stream he noticed earlier is deep enough to dispose of her body. Jesse grabbed Darcy into his arms as he stepped outside to inspect the back porch of the Airbnb. For a brief minute, it appeared as though he was about to throw her into the yard, but he resisted the temptation, allowing Darcy to survive to cry another day. Joan Walters and Rachel Bear in Romeo and Juliet. In 90-Day Fiancé, across the pond, Rachel Bear and John Walters visit his sister Abby prior to the 90 days. She is without a doubt the unfriendliest woman in Weston-super-Mare, if not the entire United Kingdom. She gives the impression that Debbie Downer is a motivational speaker. Abby doesn't wait to tell Rachel that John is a player with a wild history, a dog, and unfit to raise a child. When John contradicts himself and says he has only had 2 girlfriends, Rachel is given a Pinocchio nose by her. Sister Abby tells them that they are doomed, pointing out that they haven't had time to grow bored yet. Later, after helping Lucy take a bath, John hears Rachel say she wants Lucy to call him Dad. Saying he doesn't believe it's a good idea, John gives a deer-in-the-headlights impression. Then Rachel queries Lucy about his name. The child squeals like a cat suffocating on a hairball. While John enjoys getting to make bubbles when Lucy takes a bath, Rachel is certain the infant murmured Dada. Given the shaky chronology of Rachel and John's romance, many fans are certain that baby Lucy is John's offspring. Her child may have been the result of previous alleged trips to the UK for some sexy known-loving activities. 90-Day Fiancé. Paul Stale on the prowl before the 90 days. On last night's episode of 90-Day Fiancé, Paul Stale and Karine Martins strolled through Brazilian streets prior to the 90 days. They go to seek a license to marry. Karine is wearing a crop top, and Paul is dressed in khakis, a blue shirt, and a red tie for his role as a vacation Bible school teacher. They can now visit their intended venue and get married. The space is modest, with generic walls and plastic seats that give the impression that it could be used for funeral viewings. Karine talks through the app and says she needs a nice conditioner and astringent. She expresses her desire to begin a family. The baby's wish is communicated by the robo-voice, and Paul appears to have just regurgitated bile. It may not be the best time, in his opinion. Karine, though, believes that if a live, breathing human were placed in the center of this chaos, it would put an end to their arguments. This is coming from a woman who continues to play with plush toys. Paul agrees somewhat, at least for the time being. Paul acts as Karine Martin's father. Paul discovers later that their new dwelling appears to have been hit by a unicorn bomb when he wakes up. Karine laughs as he begins to clean, saying she wishes she had more sleep. Paul claims she is unhappy with her lack of domesticity and lies like a teenager. When they go grocery shopping, he claims she acts like she's 12, and she calls him a dad, which makes things even creepier, if that's possible. Paul eventually visits the internet cafe to speak with his mother via Skype. She advises him against getting married and starting a family, particularly since he has little money. Although strange, Paul's mother prevails in this case. Who could turn down the woman whose hair bag he always travels with? Really, he acts in a Ricky, Race, and Melissa in Clueless in Colombia. The 90-day fiancé last night began with Ricky Rice waking up in Colombia with a tiny cup of Central American coffee and a lot of energy. Although fleeting, his coffee buzz is as strange. Melissa tells him she has to finish her schoolwork and shows him an image of papers that have chicken scratch on them, so she can't hang out. It may be as simple as scratching chickens. Feeling dejected, he phones his cousin Carlos and inquires about the specifics of the postponed date from the previous evening. When she tried to kiss him, Ricky acknowledges that he turned his cheek. In a wonderful fantasy, Carlos and Ricky assume that the reason she's not coming out today is because of rejection. His claim is refuted by flashback footage, after which Ricky spends the day exploring Colombia's streets while dressed in a Garanimals camo outfit that includes the obligatory fanny pack and do-rag. I hate to break the news to you, Ricky, but this outfit would have been the tipping point if Melissa wasn't already turned off. Wondering where it all went wrong, he buys photographs and takes selfies on the street, tries on a cap, and eats some local meat. Things may not be going well because it appears Melissa was unaware that she was seeing Ricky. I mean, what TLC doesn't know can't possibly harm them. 90-day fiancé. Tarek, Myers, and Hazel are trapped in a church. Last night's 90-day fiancé. Hazel woke up and went to see her folks before the 90 days had begun. Tarek seems to believe that the greatest way to create an impact is to wear a bright red tank top with a huge sphinx on it. Hazel appears prepared to work a full day of customer service at Lady Foot Locker, dressed in a polo shirt. They get into a sidecar-type vehicle and head to Hazel's parents' modest house. Along the way, we come upon a chained dog and a caged rooster. They enter a small room where a Hello Kitty bed dominates the space, and they all sit on it. They jump right into the marriage-related stuff after some awkward comments that could be taken as Tarek making out with both of her parents. They wish to bestow a blessing onto them. It's crucial that they insist Tarek go to church with them. Although Tarek acknowledges that he is not religious, what could possibly go wrong? When Tarek discovers religion, he rejects it when they get to the church. The preacher, who appears to have just left the party and is still high on ecstasy, is yelling, "There is a God." This initiates an official sobbing fit, speaking in tongues, perspiring fit, and hurling oneself to the sequin-covered ground. It appears that there are Pentecostal churches in the Philippines. Someone in the corner appears to be vomiting, and Hazel's mother is writhing like a jellyfish. They do this for 5 hours, we subsequently learn. When Hazel's mother learns that Tarek doesn't have religion, she is dismayed. He tells Hazel that while he does pray in private and believes in God, he doesn't think it's a good idea to act out the exorcist for half a day. Hazel is happy with this, since she envisions a world in which rooms are larger than a full-size bed and poultry roam freely. Moving on to the following week. For more news and spoilers about 90-day fiancé. Before the 90 days, return frequently to soap dirt.